Hi everyone. This morning I am recording a short practice for inner strength. So I thought it would be a good idea to do perhaps a practice you could do in the morning as an energizer, something when you feel like you need a little bit of a boost for the day. I connect with my inner strength and my inner wisdom. And I believe in myself, that kind of positive morning affirmations. So if you'd like to come onto your mat, you can step to the front of your mat. Feet are about hip width apart, and you could perhaps start by closing the eyes or finding a fixed gazing point. And as always, we will just start with a couple of moments, taking our awareness to our breath before we get moving. So, as you're standing here at the front of your mat, observe your feet connecting with the floor, observing your legs, perhaps drawing up through the inner thighs, gently turning the inner thighs out to the sides, observing your sitting bones or tailbones slightly moving forward, navel to spine, rolling the shoulders back, and just taking 3 deep breaths. Lovely. And now please slowly open your eyes, and then we're going to get moving. So inhale, arms rise, looking up, and repeating twice more, palms face up as the arms go up. Inhale up. And exhale down, and now let's do a little bit of a gentle warm-up before we go into our full yoga practice. So we're going to do some shoulder rolls. And now reaching forward with the left arm, drawing the shoulder back. Reaching the left arm over to the right. And coming back, other side. Let's inhale forward, exhale as the arm comes back. So a few times on each side. And now today we'll take a standing cat-cow. So once again, take a moment to connect with your sense of inner strength and inner power, inner belief. And then we're going to inhale, gentle lift through the front of the body, perhaps opening, lifting the chin a little to have the feeling of opening your lungs. And exhale, tucking in the chin, perhaps rounding the shoulders forward a little. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, roll. And then we're going to take the arms to about shoulder height, fingertips coming towards each other, and just take a movement from side to side. So a little bit of a warm-up for the torso, the back. And now take it a little bit wider, so the hips are still facing forward, the torso is moving to each side. And now bring in the hips as well, and now let's just bring in the feet. And exhale to lower. And now we'll just warm up do a few movements to work with the hips. So you could bring your hands on your hips, lift up the leg and draw some circles with the hip. If this is a little bit challenging, you might like to take a shelf to rest on. So keep going with your smooth, deep breaths here. And then we'll take it to the other side. So the left knee to shoulder height, perhaps alternating between pointing and flexing the toes. And as I've just done, taking the arms out wide. If you need extra support. Lovely. Okay, and then from here, we're going to inhale and exhale, spinal roll, hands go down the legs. Coming into a forward fold, inhale, rising up, arms wide, and exhale, folding forward from the hips. Abdomen moves towards the thighs. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. And once more in your own time. Folding forward. And from here, we're going to make our way down to the floor. So bring if you lie on the floor with your abdomen on the floor, I'll just move these blocks so you can see me properly. So we're going to come into Sphinx pose with the elbows beneath the shoulders, forearms on the floor. So we're going to take some planks in a minute, but let's just prepare for those by doing some Sphinx roll-ups. So gazing slightly forward of the hands, and inhale, rolling the shoulders back, and now lifting the ribs and the hips off the floor, knees remain on the floor, and let's roll back down, repeating twice more. Really drawing the navel to the spine as you lift the hips. And let's do one more time. Okay, so that was a good strengthener for the front of the body, the anterior core muscles. Okay, and now we'll come up into a forearm plank, so tucking in the toes and lifting up into a plank. So keeping the elbows beneath the shoulders, and let's walk it out a few times. Walking back to child's pose, taking a brief rest, and taking a moment to reconnect with your sense of inner strength and inner power. And then we'll come forward again, we'll come into a standard plank pose. So fingers spread nice and wide, the index fingers pointing to the short edge of the mat, tucking in the toes at the back, and let's lift the hips. Do remember you can take a half plank if you prefer, perhaps crossing at the ankles if you take this half plank version, and keeping the hips in line with the shoulders and the heels. Otherwise, taking this version of plank. Now, drawing the navel to the spine, imagining you have a little belt buckle shining towards your chin. And just holding plank for a few breaths. Exhale, coming back to child's pose. Just noticing briefly how you feel after that plank. Sliding the hands forward again, coming into plank once more. And let's take a walking plank here. Gently lifting each leg, a few times. Keep going for a little bit longer if you like before taking child's pose again. This time perhaps child's with the knees together and the arms wrapping around the thighs. And just breathe into the upper back. Bringing the hands forward once more. We're going to take a plank pose. Inhale, take left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift. Bringing the knee to the nose. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lift. knee to right elbow. Coming back to center. Brief child's pose. Returning to our plank, grounding down through the hands. And this time working with right knee to right elbow, right knee to nose, and taking it to the left elbow. And, oh, I need a rest. So child's pose, a good place to reconnect with your inner strength or inner core. And then from here, let's come up to all fours. Exhale, lifting the hips nice and high, downward facing dog. Spreading the fingers wide, allowing your head to release towards the floor. That's pedaling out each leg as it's the first dog. Keep breathing nice and smoothly and deeply. And on the next breath, just allow the chest to gently ease towards the thighs. And then from here, let's step forward to the front of the mat. And we'll go into some sun salutations. So, standing at the front of your mat, hopefully you might be feeling a little bit warmed up now, like me. So, standing at the front of the mat, let's just roll the shoulders back and take a moment to connect with the earth. Okay, so inhale, arms rise. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale for a halfway lift with a flat back. And exhale to plant the palms, stepping back into plank pose. From here, we're going to lower the knees, chest and chin. Sliding the arms forward into Sphinx pose. If you want a little slightly stronger pose, you can draw the hands back. So coming into Cobra pose, be very mindful of your lower back here. Okay, so legs are active, kneecaps lifted. Exhale to lower the head, and we're coming into downward facing dog. From here, we're stepping forward into our forward fold. We're just going to add an extra bonus pose today. So lower the bottom down, coming into boat pose. So knees are bent. You're drawing the navel towards the spine and keeping the chest very much lifted here in boat pose, reaching forward. And then from here, you can cross the legs and come back up to Tadasana. Arms rise and hands fold. Connecting with your inner strength, believing that everything you need is already within you. Having that inner belief, inner strength. As we take the arms up again and exhale, folding forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Rolling the shoulders back. And exhale, planting the palms, taking back the opposite foot back into your plank. And here you can either lower down knees, chest and chin, or if you prefer, you can bend the elbows and come down in one movement. Coming into either our Sphinx or Cobra. And exhale. Coming back up into the downward facing dog. Taking a breath in before stepping forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, taking the bottom to the floor and coming into boat pose once more. Knees are bent, reaching forward, keeping the, chest lifted. If you want an extra challenge here, you can start to straighten the legs. Crossing at the ankles, ready to come up into Tadasana once again. And exhale, returning to Tadasana at the front of your mat. And now we'll, actually let's step wide, let's do warrior two. So, start again. So, stepping wide on your mat, facing the long edge, rotating the right toes, they're facing towards the short edge, and the left leg is rotating in, so it's facing towards front left corner of the mat. Inhale, arms rise, collarbones towards the long edge, and exhale, bend the front knee. You might just need to adjust your posture slightly. And let's take a little flow. So inhale, palm faces up to come into the reverse warrior. And exhale into a side angle variation. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Really keeping the arm hugging in over the left ear here. And inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale to come back into the warrior. So keeping the back arm lifted. Lovely. From here, let's take the feet parallel, taking a forward fold. So beginning by drawing the inner thighs together, finding a sense of length in the front of the body, and exhale, folding forward from the hips. You might like to bring the hands to rest on the legs, or the hands might rest towards the floor. And let's inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, taking the arms wide for this five-pointed star pose. And now let's take the left foot to the left edge of the mat for warrior on the other side. Holding warrior pose for a moment. And now inhale for the reverse warrior. And exhale into the side angle stretch. Keeping the front knee bent and just being a little mindful of that front knee. Might want to roll in, so keep it tracking towards the little toe side. Inhale for a reverse warrior. You can look forward or look up to the hand as I'm doing. And exhale, side angle. Now perhaps you could take the arms forward here if you want a little extra boost. And then we'll come into the reverse warrior. Side angle, your choice. And then warrior two. Taking a breath in. Exhale, lower the hands. Let's heel toe the feet together. And then we're going to make our way down to the mat on our fronts. So make your way down. So forehead on the floor. The palms are facing in towards the thighs. And we're going to take locust pose. So inhale. And on an exhale, lifting one of your legs. The pubic bone stays grounded here, and you're lifting and lengthening through the legs. Exhale to release. Taking an inhale before taking it to the other side, other leg. Exhale, release. And now we'll bring in both the legs. And if it's comfortable, you can now, on your next breath, next exhale, bring in the chest. So lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back a little. Sense of openness through the chest. And the legs are lengthening and lifting. So really feeling that you're initiating the movement from the abdomen. And fingertips reaching back towards the ankles. Exhale to release. Taking a breath. Next exhale. Coming into the pose once more. Chest is optional. You could just work with the legs if you prefer. Exhale, lower. And into locust once more. From here, we'll lower down. Briefly coming into child's pose. Working your way back to a seated position. We'll take a twist to finish. So keeping the right leg extended, drawing the left heel in towards the sitting bones and crossing the left leg on top. Keep the left leg hugging in, and there's an option to bend this right leg as well if you like. So really keeping the left thigh hugging in, left ball of foot grounding down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, gentle twist to the left. Finding length in the spine with each inhale. We'll come back to center. Coming back to center, and this time we're going to draw the right heel in towards the sitting bone, crossing the right leg on top, keeping it hugging in, so ball of right foot towards the floor, and bending the left leg if you prefer. I'm going to keep that leg straight with this pose. So lifting up through the spine on your inhale, keeping the head over the hips, and exhale, gently twisting to the right, perhaps bringing opposite arm to the right knee. Using each inhale to find a little length in the back, and perhaps using your exhale to twist a little bit more deeply. And then coming back to center and preparing for a short relaxation. You're coming down onto your back, feet about hip width apart, arms by the sides, palms face up. If you'd like to here, you could put on some jumpers, perhaps cover yourself with a blanket, depending on how long you want to stay. Take a couple of breaths, observing how you feel after the practice and tapping into your sense of inner strength once more. Pausing the video here if you'd like to take a longer Shavasana. And when you're ready, we're going to gently move the fingers and toes, drawing the knees in towards the chest, perhaps taking a little side to side rock. Rolling onto your right side. Coming back up to a comfortable seated position. Perhaps Sukhasana, crossing at the shins. Perhaps bringing the hands together at the heart. And taking 3 deep breaths here, knowing that you trust yourself, tapping into your sense of inner strength for the day ahead. Have a good day.